Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't uploaded in like literally 2 years. That's okay because I'm back with another video. Today's video is specifically about my holy grail foundation, which I have mentioned probably in every single video on my channel, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte foundation. So this foundation I bought so many tubes of, like I think this is probably my 4th or 5th tube of this foundation, and it's actually already empty. I went to Guardian today to buy a replacement, as I do, and instead what I find is this, which is the Infallible 24-hour matte cover foundation. So as you can tell, they look very different and they're called different things, so I wasn't sure if they are like the same product like on the inside or not. And when I was like googling it and searching on YouTube and stuff, there aren't really that many people who have been comparing these two, specifically these two foundations. I thought it would be interesting if I did a side-by-side comparison of these two on my face, because I think they've discontinued this foundation sadly and replaced it with this, at least here in Malaysia, like in the drugstores here. They don't sell these anymore, which is extremely sad. So I'm here to test out whether this is as good as this one. Tomorrow I'm going out, so tomorrow I'm gonna put this on one side of my face and this on one side of my face, and we will see which is better. I'll be wearing it throughout the whole day and comparing what they look like at the end of the day. And just for your reference, I do have like combination skin. My T-zone can get quite oily throughout the day, but the rest of my face is basically fine. So to start off with, I'll just compare like what it says and what the differences are like on the tubes itself. So this, as I mentioned, is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Demi Matte Finish Air-Light Oil-Free Foundation, and I have this in the shade 104 Golden Beige. So it says the finish is a demi matte, which means it's not supposed to be fully matte, though I don't agree with that at all. This is 100% a fully matte foundation. It says you can wear it for up to 24 hours. The coverage is medium and the texture is air light. And it specifically says the oil control. Whereas this one is called the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour matte cover foundation. And this has SPF 16, which is great because this one does not have any SPF. And it says it's a long wear matte foundation, high coverage, natural result. So I got this in the shade 105.5 Gold Sand. So just one shade darker than this because this is a little bit light on my skin. So what it says on the back here is that it is a mattifying and high coverage long wear foundation, goes lightweight and super natural. So 24-hour matte finish and shine control, high concentration of pigment in an ultra fluid texture for high coverage with second skin finish, and it's non-comedogenic. So that's interesting because this one specifically says that it's demi matte with medium coverage, whereas this one says that it is fully matte with high coverage. And I think this one already has like really good coverage on its own already. So I'm very curious to see how this one stacks up against this in terms of coverage. So I'm assuming this is gonna be like super full coverage. They do cost, I think, the same, around 60 ringgit retail, but I would never buy that full price. I always buy my makeup from Guardian on sale. Pro tip, ladies, never ever buy your makeup from Guardian at full price unless you really need to, because they always have 50% off sales like all the time. So I just bought this today for 50% off, so it was I think 32 after discount, which I think is a really good price for this. I will get back to you tomorrow when I'm putting on my makeup, and also at the end of the day to show you the results and compare what they look like on my face at the end of the day. Peace. I am here, it's a new day. So today I will be comparing these two foundations on my face side by side. So this old Infallible Pro Matte foundation is going on this side of my face, and the Infallible 24-hour matte cover is going on this side of my face, and I will be using a sponge to apply it on both sides. I already put on my eye makeup. I just used the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia, Beverly Hills. I'm going for like a very emo look today, so I'm gonna wear like dark eyes, dark lips. That's the vibe for today. I applied my primer already, which is the NYX Angel Veil primer. This is all that I have on my face right now. So I'll start off with the Pro Matte first on this side of my face. This is what the Infallible Pro Matte looks like in terms of the texture if you've never used it before. It's a very, as you can see, it's thick, like it's not going anywhere, it's not running off of my arm. It's like a very creamy, whipped kind of texture. Yeah, it's quite thick. I'll just put that on this side of my face. And as you can see, I have quite a lot of pigmentation on my face, like you can see here especially, which is why I like to opt for a more full coverage foundation. So as you can see, it's quite full coverage. Like, I don't know why it says it's medium coverage. I would say that it's pretty much full coverage, that you cannot see any of my pigmentation left there. Okay, so this is what the Infallible Pro Matte side looks like. I just put a really light layer on basically the whole face, except for this part here. I concentrated most of it there, and I put on an extra layer on top to cover up all of my pigmentation. I really like how it looks. As you can see, it's not like a completely dead, like flat matte. It still looks like skin lah. It looks like I'm still alive. It will dry down to like a fully matte finish. So I find that I don't even need to set this foundation with powder. That's basically done for this side, and now I will move on to the Infallible 24-hour matte cover on this side of my face. So I'm actually like pretty excited to try this out. I really hope it is as good as my holy grail Infallible Pro Matte. So let's go ahead and try it out. Oh yeah, it's definitely a much lighter texture. It's not as like creamy and almost like a whipped cream texture that the other one has. The color looks good. It looks like it'll be a good match for my face. So I'll just put this on this side of my face. Okay, it might be because I just put like a lot of this foundation on, but it definitely seems like the coverage is like way better than the Pro Matte. Do you see that? My face looks perfect. Holy crap. That's actually crazy. It covered up all of my pigmentation and scarring just with one layer. That's actually really impressive. Hello? Oh my god. It's 100% full coverage, I can tell you that for sure. They do actually look really similar in terms of the finish of it, like how matte they are, but also at the same time, like I mentioned, not like a completely flat matte. But yeah, like this side has completely dried down, like it's fully matte. Actually yeah, it feels the same. It dried down already to a completely matte finish. It really does seem like these two are kind of the same foundation, just different packaging and maybe some slight improvements to this one, like in terms of the coverage, as you can see, and also the texture. Okay, so I finished putting on all my makeup. So I just used the Colourpop Peachy Highlight and Peachy Blush. And I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette to contour my face. This shade in the middle that I've hit pan on is definitely my favorite, as you can tell. And for my lips, I'm using another Kat Von D product as well, which is the liquid lipstick in the shade Vampira. I'm not really the biggest fan of this. It's quite uneven, like you can kind of tell it's quite uneven and patchy. Besides the point, like I think they both look good. I think both sides, like I said just now, look basically exactly the same in terms of like the finish of it and how all the products went on. They are the complete same. Though I have to say that I'm already seeing like some of the dry patches in my face kind of emphasized by these foundations. This one, as I said, I've used so many tubes of this, and it really is like a very matte foundation. If you have any kind of dry patch on your face, 100% this is going to emphasize it. So just keep in mind, if you've never tried this before and you have like dry skin, maybe you can opt for another foundation, or make sure to moisturize really well before you use this. And it's already like sinking into my smile lines a little bit, which again, it's quite normal like for this foundation. Right now, I guess maybe I have a slightly higher preference for the 24-hour matte cover, just because the coverage of it is kind of insane. We'll see if this even lasts at the end of the day. Maybe it will all wear off, especially because I'm gonna be wearing a mask, of course, going out. I'm gonna have a mask on my face basically the whole day, so we will see how it holds up to a mask. So I'll see you on the other side. Hey, so I'm back with my one and final check-in for today. So this is how my face looks like after almost 9 hours now, about 8.5 hours. I honestly feel like this side, which is the new matte cover foundation, actually looks better than this side. You can kind of see more of my pigmentation showing through on this side, as opposed to this side you can't really see at all like in real life. But I have to say though that my makeup on this side lasted more. Like, you can still kind of see my blush here, whereas on this side it's kind of all gone. And I mean, that is because like I was wearing a mask all day, so a lot of my makeup actually rubbed off on my mask. Like, makeup on my nose is completely gone, but I don't blame the foundation for that. And around my mouth is completely gone, which, pro tip, don't wear both lips when you're wearing a mask, because it ended up literally all over my face, all over my mouth. My dark lipstick was all over the place. So I had to remove like a lot of that. But other than that, in terms of the oiliness of my skin, this side looks to be a bit shinier. Like, you can kind of see the shine, as opposed to this side, it's much less shiny. But even so, this side is still pretty good, like for 9 hours. But this side still looks very matte. So if you are an oily skin gal, this will save your life, I'm telling you. I'm actually really impressed with the way that both of these foundations look at the end of the day, especially this matte cover one, because like I mentioned, the fact that I've been wearing a mask like all day, and if you look at my mask, it's covered in makeup, so I really thought that a lot more makeup would have come off my face, but it's mainly just like on my nose and my chin. Whereas like my cheeks look pretty good, like they look really good. I'm really impressed with the way that this looks actually. So there you go, there's your question answered as to what the differences are between them. In conclusion, just to like sum up everything, besides the texture differences that I mentioned, the new matte cover foundation also has a little bit more coverage, I would say, than the old foundation. Like, it's even in the name, it's called the matte cover foundation. Other than that, it kind of looks the same to me. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, can you guys tell a difference? Because I can't really tell a difference. That's my foundation review comparison thing. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. So yeah, let me know if this was helpful, and let me know if maybe this worked for you, if this didn't work for you. And yeah, that's about it. Catch you later, I guess. Bye.